Hey guys, it's JackSparrow123 and welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Last time we took on Zoromegdaros and are now being told to go to the Great Ravine. Before that though, I did 2 hunts off camera, which went pretty well. I tried to record them, but turns out our recording program didn't want to work. So, what I got from it was a Kodachi Claw for the Kodachi fan base. The reason we want this is for evade extender. It's better than our Palico thing. And next up, we want to upgrade our Carapace rifle, because I went and hunted a Baroth as well, and I took his tail. This means we now have more damage than if we're using the weapon we've got right now, which is a good increase. It also has the main ammos that I love to use so much. And we actually get paralysis ammo too, which today we're going to be talking about ailments and status effects. While we're at it, why don't we just buff this a little? Because we do have what is needed too. And we kind of decreased our defense in upgrading to this. So now in total we've got 49 defense, which is really good. Anyways, let's do as the handler wants and go to the Great Ravine. This is a place we will not be able to go to again through our playthrough, so we might as well make the most of it. I could be wrong though. You could actually be able to go back. If I am, I'll put it up on screen. However, I am pretty sure we can't go back to the Great Ravine after we go here.
We made it.
Yep.
Let's start by finding a way forward.
Okay. So the way forward, I don't think we're going to need any ammo, but just in case. I don't see any pickups over here, but this place is pretty darn cool. Look at that.
I think we can get through if we head this way. You need to load the slinger with some ammo. See anything useful lying around?
That wasn't part of her dialogue that's supposed to go on. That's because I tried to shoot.
Went straight through. We didn't even slow it down. I'm guessing there's something pretty important on the other side.
I tried to shoot the slinger. Oh, hey.
No way!
Look at this massive fissure it made. This is the power of an elder dragon.
Yes, it is the power of an elder dragon. So this is what elder dragons can cause. Or at least what Zoromegdaros can. Not all elder dragons are like Zoromegdaros. He's a bit of an exception. So...
We gotta be careful not to fall here.
Are you sure? Because I don't think I can fall here.
Think we're getting close?
Yep. You can't pull out your weapon during this. So, that's a sad moment. Oh! I crashed the game! Ha! Well, don't open your map! Oh, that's something I want to quickly touch on. I am going to talk about Elder Dragons a little later in this series. Anyways, let's go through this place.
We gotta be careful not to fall here.
Pass through.
Oh. Race you down there. Come on, this way. awake? I don't know where we are.
This is a research base. Let's quickly talk to the third fleet master here. I don't know how to say ... Oh, hello. You're awake. Do you remember where you fell? A friend of ours found you napping in the vale and carried you here. But more to the point. Congratulations, you found the third fleet. I'm their leader. To the extent that still means something. And this is our research base. Our fleet consists entirely of scholars. Which fleet are you with? And how did you get here? What happened to the Great Ravine? I see. So this Magdaros was the latest Elder Dragon to make the crossing, and it breached the Great Ravine when you tried to capture it. Well, I suppose after all this time we may get to finally do what we came here for. I must say that I'm stimulated. Well then, let's not waste any time. We need to pick up Magdaros' trail. An expedition into the Coral Highlands might be fruitful, wouldn't you agree? For obvious reasons, that is what we call the surrounding area. A nice, thorough expedition should reveal the Highland secrets. It's a good idea, is it not? I know it's a good idea. I came up with it. Now go, quickly.
Doing a careful expedition into the Coral Highlands sounds like a good idea to me.
So this is a place that we won't be visiting too often. These are the third fleet members who went missing when they turned their ship into an aircraft and fell down the Great Ravine. And here they are, alive and well, inside of the Coral Highlands. Anyways, so let's go on our expedition. We ended up surviving, and we're at the research base. And if you look on our map, it's a bit of a ways away from Astera. So I'm surprised they made it this far. Let's go to the Coral Highlands. Enough dilly-dallying. So, we're kind of looking for a Zitzi Yaku. But before that, we want to eat our meals because a hearty food is good. We haven't seen the animation for this, so I'm going to let it play. There we go. Anyways, so we're not going to be trying to kill anything in today's video. That's going to be for tomorrow's video. But if I can get a nice little image of monsters, then I'll make those the thumbnails for the next video. As you see, I'm missing a health potion, which is kind of my bad. We got snow herbs, which I don't remember what we used them for off the top of our head. I just know we're going to be using them for something. These are wigglers. They're very interesting. And you can kill them. I feel horrible for doing that. They don't drop anything for killing them. That was a complete waste of wigglers. They're actually really good pets if you capture them with your net. I will be doing like a bonus video where we capture absolutely everything. Anyways. So let's just quickly head over here. I'm going to be talking about these guys right here in a little bit. I'm going to let Future Jack talk about them when it comes to them. Pop, pop, pop. Just know they are Shamos. What the? That one's not giving much time to it, like dodge. Normally they give a bit of time. Anyways. Let's quickly harvest him. No. Oh. You know what? Not much I can do about that. He attacks me. He's dead. I'm surprised the explosion didn't go off. Okay, well, he's dead now. Sorry about that, I got a little sidetracked. Let's quickly go up on this ledge here, because there should be something. This is a Zitziyaku. We'll talk about him when we do a battle video against him.
Hey, partner.
But for now, that's just what he does. He flashbangs things. Anyways, I'm going to let Future Jack talk about things while I go around gathering stuff and doing silly stuff. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you, Battle Junkie Jack. Or not so Battle Junkie right now. Anyways, right now we are in the Coral Highlands, one of my favorite maps. There are 2 sub-areas in it, unlike the other maps, which have 4 to so on. 4 to 8, I don't know. Anyways, these sub-areas, actually we get right off the bat. In this mission, we get sub-area Northeast 12, which is kind of interesting, meaning we don't have much to explore here. There are also some interesting hazards. I know I'm talking fast. It's so that we can get on to the blight talk that I want to do. In these hazards, we've got air pressure and strong winds. These ones are the main ones. They allow the player to traverse the map a lot more quickly. If we use the glider mantle, we are actually able to fly up across the map and skip sections. Inside of hunts, if we use strong winds, it will knock us into the air and allow us to mount the monster more easily and get our mounting attacks. There's also, for the first time, sleep toads, which are just like paratoads. If we attack them, they make it so the monster falls asleep if they're in the area. Now let's quickly talk about the apex predator of the Coral Highlands, which is the Legiana. Much like the Rathalos and the Diablos to their respective areas, the Legiana is the apex to hers. The Legiana is something we end up fighting, and just like the Diablos and Rathalos, doesn't end up going too well. Now, with the Legiana, she does an interesting thing, which is Ice Blight, which we haven't run into before. I'm going to talk about blights in just a minute. The inhabitants of the Coral Highlands are the Kelbi, Raffinos, Shamos, Vespoids, and Gajalaka. The Shamos are very hostile. As you can see on the display right now, they're not the nicest company we've got in the world. They don't have any elemental damage or anything like that. They're just a pain in the butt when you're hunting a monster and they come up and attack you as well as the monster. Another interesting fact is the Coral Highlands is just right above the Rotten Vale, which is a map we will visit in probably 2 days from now. Inside of the Rotten Vale, there is a lot of nasty stuff, so we'll talk about them in a bit. Another interesting thing about the Coral Highlands is if the Kirin, which is an outer dragon, is there, it will be a permanent thunderstorm. Another cool thing is inside of the Coral Highlands, there are flakes, white flakes floating around, and those are actually coral eggs. Species like winged drakes will fly up and eat these coral eggs, which is kind of interesting. It kind of brings life to the map, and you can see this actually happening. And I think it is section 6. Or no, section 5. You can see this. Some items you should probably pick up while here is coral bone, coral crystal, knoll berries, and smoke nuts, which I all do in this video. Now, that's about the Coral Highland. I know I ran through it really quick, but that's because I really want to talk about this ailment subject. And I only have 10 minutes to talk about it because that's how long I was exploring on the map. So, elemental blights. Let's start with this. Elemental blights, unlike ailment blights, cannot be caused by the player and can only be caused by monsters. These blights, however, can be avoided and you can become immune to them by having 20 defense in that elemental resistance. Meaning if you have 20 defense in fire, You cannot be affected with Fire Blight. You can also remove all blight, like elemental blight effects with a Null Berry. So keep that in mind if you get blighted. Now let's talk about what these blights are. There is Fire Blight. You gradually take damage and you can remove it by rolling 3 times. Not that bad. The damage you take, however, from the damage over time is not red HP. And if you want to get red HP, you can't. You can still heal it by drinking potions though. So it's not too bad. Water Blight. It makes it so your stamina recovers slowly. It isn't that bad of a deal. We ran into it when we were fighting the Juratotis, and we didn't really suffer much from it. Then there's the Thunder Blight, which makes it so that monsters are more likely to stun and paralyze you. I'm sorry I spelled paralysis wrong. But inside of the wiki, it only says stun, which I find interesting because it actually does make it so you're more likely to be paralyzed. You can also cure this by rolling 7 times, which is actually really helpful. You also have Ice Blight, which is the second worst blight you can get. This makes it so that you consume stamina so much more than if you don't have it. If you were like dodging, if you're running, if you're doing anything that consumes stamina, you eat more of it. You use way more. I know I'm not too good at talking, and it can't be removed by rolling. You have to use a Null Berry to remove it or wait till the timer goes away. It is really bad for like weapons that use a lot of stamina like Switch Axe, Bow, and of course light bowgun because we roll a lot. Next up is the worst blight, Dragon Blight. Negates all period. Makes it so you cannot do any elemental damage with your weapons. It makes it so you cannot do any status damage with your weapons. It makes it so that it negates so much. And if you're using a raw damage build, you don't worry about this too much. But say you're using like a blast build or a fire damage build or ice damage build, this really does a big number on you. Anyways, those are the blights. You can remove Dragon Blight with a Null Berry, so it's not too bad if you keep stocked up. Next, let's talk about the abnormal status ailments. These are, unlike blight, can be caused by players to monsters. So the effect I'm going to talk about is also vice versa. With ailments like blast damage or so on, if you have a blast weapon, you have a 1 in 3 chance to apply the threshold to a monster and increase your chances of blasting them. In order to cause the effect, you have to meet the monster's threshold for it. So if you're trying to blast and you're using a sword, you have a 1 in 3 chance to apply, let's say you have 220 blast, you have a 1 in 3 chance to apply 220 blast to the monster's threshold, and let's say the monster's threshold is 300, you only have to apply this threshold twice. Once you apply the threshold, the monster goes boom, and so on. After that, the monster's number will be reset, and it will have 2 times the value. So if it was 100 the first time, it's 200 the next time. Ranged weapons have a 100% chance to apply the threshold, so we have it a little easier, but we have to consume ammo to do it. Next, let's talk about what these blights are. First, we got Poison Blight, or just poison. It will wear off over time, can be cured with antidote, herbal medication, and herbal powder. It's not too bad, just damage over time, and this turns into red HP, so not as bad as fire. Mix it with fire and it's really bad. Next we got Stun, incapacitates the target for a period of time. You can remove it by button mashing and trying to move. Next is Paralysis, which is a worse version of Stun, and this time you fall on the floor. Can be cured same way or by being attacked. Sleep makes it so the player will wobble a bit while walking and then eventually fall on the ground in sleep. If you are asleep, you take double damage on your next attack or next hit. You can wake them up though by either drinking an energy drink while you're wobbling or by being attacked. Players can also attack other players and the player won't take any damage because friendly fire is disabled. Next we got Blast Blight. Blast Blight will make the player explode after a period of time or by being attacked by a heavy attack. The player can remove this by rapidly rolling. I don't know the threshold number for this though. Brachydios has a unique version of this called Slime Blight. Can still be removed by rolling. It's just a more powerful version of Blast Blight. Players who apply Blast Blight, monsters can't remove it by rolling because monsters don't roll. Next we got Bleeding. Bleeding causes the player to lose HP by performing actions, namely rolling, attacking, or sheathing. You can cure this by either sitting in a corner and crouching until a time period passes, or by eating a Sunfish skill or a Stera Jerky. This also means that the player will gain a buff called Natural Recovery Up. This doesn't matter about the Jerky or anything. With Natural Recovery Up, you have an increased speed of healing red HP. Effluvium Build-Up. This reduces the player's max HP. There's also Minor Effluvium, which you get inside of the Rotten Fail by taking damage over time. Anyways, that's my time limit for talking about these. I'll see you guys in a bit, or next video. Rest in peace, Mr. Twinkles. Uh-oh. Let's just... Jeez. Yep, that's what I expected. 3 apexes, 3 deaths. I could have dodged that, but I kind of just sat there and took it. Okay, how much of the map is complete? Okay, I gotta get the rest of it. I'm really confident we could kill it. But this isn't the video about Legiana, so we're not going to do that. I will settle with getting a bit of the tail. Or, not the tail, the head. Because we did break that part. Let's just unlock this part of the map. There we go. That was not the right ammo to use for that. Okay. Hey, we can see a Legiana all the way over there. Anyways, let's leave the expedition. Return from expedition. I did what I wanted to here. Bum 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 bum. Legiana part? Yes, indeed. Nothing else, though. I'm surprised our Palico didn't try to heal us at all. Added forest, deep food. Added food. Dot dot dot. You went and fought the Legiana? Not actually. I see that you've returned empty-handed. A shame. Anyways, you have a visitor. Well, look who it is. My favorite hard workers. The third fleet master here tells me you went out on an expedition in the Coral Highlands searching for Zora Magdaros clues. She also tells me that there is this rotten veil way down beneath us, which gave me an idea. If we want to be able to access the veil, we'll need a means to get down there. So I propose that we resurrect the wrecked base. As in, rigging it with balloons to reconvert it into an airship. And the leaders here are all for it. Oh yes, rig it to your heart's content. For the air, we'll be able to survey the rotten veil unimpeded. And hopefully, that's where we'll pick up Zora's trail. That said unimpeded, but apparently I'm so bad at reading I can't read that right. The airship engineer said he'll take care of the airship construction. All we need to do is deliver the goods. According to the scholars, materials from a monster called the Palumu are just the ticket. If you take care of the Palumu hunt, that'll free me up to go look for some secondary materials. Oops. Deal? Oh, and here the old man said to give this to you. It's a specialized tool made using materials from the local monsters. They had a handful of biosamples kicking around in Estera, so they decided to put them to use. The old man said he hopes the new gear helps you out in the field. You'll put it to good use, I'm sure. Well, let's get to it. Good luck. And we got the glider mantle.
All of this is amazing.
But all of that will have to come in tomorrow's video. I'm going to end it off here. We explored the Coral Highlands. And before we fight Palumu, we're going to do a video where we fight the Zitzi Yaku. Till then, I hope you guys will have a good night. I'm JackSparrow123, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!